Hey there, this is Amelia here. Welcome to Amelia's crossdressing story. Today we are going to share a story called Daydream of a Crossdresser by Crow. For more interesting and exclusive stories, please subscribe to my channel and support me at Patreon, Becoming the Daughter. Michael got out of his car and looked at his watch as he approached his apartment. Not quite noon, he thought. Good. He'd taken a half-day off since things were slow and it got boring looking for things to do. There was plenty he could do at home. The first thing he did when he got it was take a quick shower. He'd just shaved his legs and chest last night, so they were still good. He wrapped a towel around himself and went to the bedroom. What shall I wear today? He pulled on a pair of silky white panties with lace trim and a matching padded bra. A pair of thigh stockings was followed by a beautiful slip he'd just bought, white silk with lots of lace. He pulled on a silky white robe and combed his hair into a ponytail. Back in the living room, he peeked out the glass doors, but didn't notice he'd left the curtains slightly open. He went into the kitchen for some soda. Putting the glass on the coffee table, he crossed the room to turn on the stereo. Leslie was Mike's neighbor. They even shared a balcony. They got along great and were close friends. Unknown to Michael, she had taken today off from work and had just been at the store. As she walked to her door, she glanced up just as Mike was crossing the living room by the gap in the curtains. The angle was perfect, and through the gap in the curtains she could clearly see Mike wearing a lacy slip. Cool, she thought. This is perfect. He was startled when the phone rang. Hello? Hi Mike, it's Leslie. What's up? Not much. I took a half-day off since it's so slow. What are you doing home? I had today off to make a 3-day weekend. I was just at the store, and when I came back I saw your car. And a lot more, she wanted to add. Anyway, are you busy? I was wondering if you could do me a big favor and lend me a hand. No problem. Well, you haven't heard what I need you to do. I'm trying to get the hem straight on a new dress, and I need a dummy. You look to be just about my size. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. As much as he wanted to do it, he started to protest. I don't know, Leslie. Mike, she interrupted, we're good friends, right? Well, yeah, but dash. You know I wouldn't try to embarrass you, Mike. And it's really hard to get a hem straight by yourself. Please? What if someone saw me? Who's going to see? It's just you and me. Look, Mike, like I said, I consider you a good friend, and I thought you felt the same way about me. I do, but dash. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't trying to pressure you. I'm leading up to a point. She smiled at him even though he couldn't see it. If you won't help me with my dress, I understand. A lot of guys would be too embarrassed. But like I said, I don't want to embarrass you. I wouldn't do that. I know you wouldn't, Leslie. But here's my point, and I hope this doesn't ruin things between us. There was a gap between your curtains, and when I glanced up coming in I saw you walking across your living room. In a pretty white slip and stockings. Mike's heart started pounding. It doesn't bother me at all, Mike. Michelle? Anyway, the slip you're wearing is the perfect length. I'll gladly give you a good makeover and you be my dress dummy. Is it a deal? He didn't know what to say. Finally he managed, you don't think I'm weird or something? She laughed and said, I've always thought that. Mike laughed with her and that calmed his nerves a little. But seriously, if you're a crossdresser, well, that's fine with me. I honestly don't think any less of you. So will you help me with this hem? You're serious, aren't you? Well, give me a couple minutes to gather up my nerves and I'll be over. And don't change, Leslie added. Michael sat down and smoked a cigarette to calm his nerves. Oh well, she knows. And she did sound okay with it. Let's see what happens. He slipped on some heels. They shared a balcony, but he'd have to go outside if he went that way. So he went down the stairs to his front door and peeked out. The coast was clear, so he quickly stepped into the alcove and knocked on Leslie's door. She let him in and he scurried inside. He blushed as she slowly checked him out. "You're going to be a babe when I'm done," Leslie said with a smile. "Come along." She took his hand and led him to her bedroom. She was wearing a silky robe like his, but in pink. She opened her robe and Mike saw that she was also wearing a really pretty slip. "I thought it only fair that we were dressed the same," Leslie said. "Like it?" "It's really nice," Mike said. "And you are gorgeous. You do realize I still like women, and only women, don't you? It wouldn't matter to me if you did like guys, but maybe I'm glad you don't. Have you ever been with a lady while you were all dressed up?" "Leslie, you are the first person I have ever met who's okay with this. Cross-dressing, I mean." She shrugged. "Mike, you're my friend no matter what you look or dress like." "Thanks," he said, hugging her. "But for now, sit down here at the vanity, and when I'm done what you'll look like is a real babe." She set his hair and did his makeup. He wasn't allowed to look until she was done. "What should I call you? Is Michelle okay? You don't quite look like Michael anymore, even though I know there are women named that." She led him to the mirror. "Sounds okay to me." "Wow. Leslie, I am a doll. I don't believe it." "Told you so. Now you owe me." "Let's do my hem." She helped Michelle into the new dress. "A shame your arms aren't shaved." "They're not too hairy, but it would look better if they were." "Well, for the same reason I didn't want you to pluck my eyebrows much, I can't show up for work looking like a lady." Leslie smiled. "You sure look like a lady now. If only it could be all the time. I really think I'd love it." They talked about how he'd been doing it most of his life, since he was about 6 or 7. Sneaking his sister's clothes, and later his mom's. They talked about what kinds of clothes they liked. About Michelle's big dream of finding a lady who would get married with them both as brides in matching silk wedding gowns. And about just anything. "You know, Michelle, you have to admit, as you already did, you totally look like a real lady. My boss, who's a really nice lady, is coming over for dinner tonight. Would you have dinner with us, Michelle? What will she think? I can't fool her if I talk. She won't mind a bit. Trust me. But you're not wearing this dress. I am. Do you have something nice or do you want me to lend you something? A fancy dinner dress? I think I have something I can wear. You sure about this? Yep. I'll see you around 6. Michelle slipped her robe back on and headed home. Leslie smiled. She had a plan. Dinner was delicious and Leslie's boss, Sarah, was a very nice lady. After dinner the talk turned to Leslie and Sarah's workplace, a publishing firm. I have to tell you, Michelle, that Leslie and I spoke about you before I came over. Not just the way you'd be dressed either, and let me say you look wonderful. Leslie tells me you read a lot and have a wide variety of interests. We are expanding a bit and I think we could use someone like you in our research department. You can't be serious, Michelle said. Oh, but I am. It's mostly women in our office and I don't really think anyone would mind you working there, Michelle. And I bet you would like it better than your job now. Not even counting that you'd get to be Michelle, said Leslie, causing Michelle to blush once again. It's still early, said Sarah. Just think about it. Tell you what. Let's let Leslie clean up. Leslie stuck her tongue out at them, and you show me your apartment. She tells me you have a lot of books. Let me take a look. They went next door to Michelle's apartment. Sure enough, there were bookshelves everywhere. A lot of fiction, but plenty of non-fiction too. Sarah nodded as she saw the wide variety of subjects. Tell me, has it ever annoyed you when you're reading a book and you come across something you know is wrong? She saw Michelle smile. That's the kind of thing you'd be hired to stop. Plus, research on who knows what at various times. I think you'd love it and you'll probably make more than you're making now. And you could stay as Michelle. It sounded too good to be true. They went back to Leslie's place. As they all got comfortable in the living room, Leslie said, "I have a confession to make, Michelle. As soon as you stepped into my house today, I knew you should be Michelle all the time. And that was before the makeover. Anyway, I knew your job was kind of slow now, and that you really would like something else. And our business is picking up. And I know that you would be perfect for the job. I had already been thinking that, but the glimpse through your curtains kind of set everything going. Well, if you're both serious about this, I think I have to go for it. I'll have to give notice, of course." "I'm serious," Sarah said. "I'll do the paperwork on Monday, and Leslie can bring it to you." "How's that?" They talked about the job a little more, and soon it was time for Sarah to get going. After she left, Michelle gave Leslie a great big hug. "I don't know how you feel about kissing girls or guys who look like girls, but a hug just isn't enough for this." She kissed Leslie, and it became clear that she was quite okay with kissing girls like Michelle. "Keep this up," Leslie said, "and maybe we'll end up try that matching wedding gown idea." That's all for now. See you in the next video. Please subscribe to our channel and support me at Patreon for more exclusive content.